With so many benefits of staying at a Disney resort being taken away because of COVID regulations, you may be wondering, is it even worth it to stay at a Disney resort in 2021? Well, watch this video, find out what I think. I'm Christina, and as a travel advisor, I have helped hundreds of families plan perfectly personalized Disney vacations that the whole family can enjoy. And I can't wait to help you plan yours. Hit the bell to be notified when more Disney vacation planning videos hit the channel.
I'm Christina. I'm a traveler, a planner, and most importantly, a mom. I'm sharing my best tips to make traveling as a family a little less stressful. So put down your phone, pack your bags, and let's showcase the world.
So even though some of the benefits of staying at a Disney resort, like the free magic bands, extra magic hours, being able to book your fast passes 30 days before people off-site, are not available right now, it doesn't mean that I don't think staying at a Disney resort is worth it. It is a little bit more expensive, but I think you still are getting a little bit more from it. Now, if you've always wanted to try staying off-site, this might be the time to try it because it's not as much of a disadvantage for you. You don't have to, try to get those fast passes for Flight of Passage or Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So if you've always wanted to stay at an off-site resort, yeah, this might be a good time to try it. But that doesn't mean that I don't think that staying at a Disney resort is worth it in this year. I personally do like staying on-site and off-site, and this year I'm staying on-site because of all of these reasons that I'm about to discuss. So the first one is the location. Walt Disney World is 40 square miles. If you're staying off-site, with the exception of the Swan and Dolphin, you're off that Disney property. You're not within that 40 square miles. So you could be spending a lot of your time getting to your location. Time really is money here. So one of the things that I like to compare it to is if you're going on a trip to Paris. I've been to Paris a few times. The first time I stayed in, it was in college, and it was organized through my study abroad program. I was studying abroad in London, and we went to Paris for a trip, and the hostel was a 30-minute train ride outside of the city, so I didn't get to see as much of Paris as I had wanted. I then was like, yeah, Paris wasn't great, I don't think I'm going to go back. But I went to, for my honeymoon, I did a river cruise through the south of France, and really the only way to get there is to fly through Paris, and my husband hadn't been, so I was like, okay, we'll do 2 days in Paris. We stayed right near the Opera House, a few blocks away from the Louvre. We could walk anywhere. There was a hop-on, hop-off bus stop right outside our door, and I fell in love with the city of Paris. So it really makes a difference if you are staying in the heart of someplace that you're going, so staying in a Disney resort, or if you're going to stay off-site and have to transport yourself to get in there, take the time out of your day. It just adds some logistics to your day. We talked about location, same thing with convenience. Everything you need is all in one place. Your transportation is included, at least for 2021, your airport transportation, your transportation to and from the parks. You don't have to worry about a rental car. Your tickets and your hotel are on the same package. You can add your Disney dining plan when they come back, and I do think that they'll come back. Everything's all in one place. You don't have to worry. You can charge back to your room. It's one clean cut folio, right? Which brings me to the packaging. The biggest advantage of staying at a Disney resort right now is the package. You need a $200 deposit to book your hotel and your tickets together. You need your tickets to book your park reservation system. And those park reservations are filling up 2 to 3 months in advance. So you need to get those tickets at least 2 to 3 months in advance, if not further, because I do think they're going to start booking out further in advance. So if you are purchasing a package, you get your tickets for that $200 deposit. Your final payment's not due until 30 days prior to check-in. If you're not doing the package, you have to pay for your resort, depending on what resort you stay at, usually one night deposit, but you have to pay for your tickets up front. And and those tickets are non-refundable. So the cancellation policy is a little bit more difficult. You could be stuck with tickets that you can't use. You can move the dates, but you're not going to get your money back. Whereas with a package booking, you have your $200 deposit. Final payment is due 30 days in advance. Even if you cancel up to 5 days in advance, all you lose is that $200 deposit. After that 5 days, you lose everything, but pretty much 5 days before you go, you're gonna know whether you're going if you feel comfortable going, right? So only losing that $200 deposit versus being stuck with thousands of dollars of tickets that you can't use is definitely a huge benefit. There are over 30 resorts at Walt Disney World, so there's definitely something for everyone. If you need help choosing a resort, I did develop a guide. It's not my favorite resort. It's not someone in your mom's group's favorite resort. It's a guide to help you choose the best resort for your family. And that's what I think makes the biggest difference in whether it's going to be worth it for you or not. Did you choose the right one? Another thing I want to talk about is transportation. You know, the buses, the boats, the Skyliners, the monorails, you don't get that with an off-site resort. Yeah, they might have a shuttle, but in my experience, that shuttle is not convenient. They usually drop off twice a day and pick up twice a day. So if you're ready to leave the park, you're pretty much stuck unless you're going to take an Uber. So I love that you have access to all of that transportation when you need to go back and take a rest, need a break from the crowds, all of those kind of things. One of the smaller benefits right now is dining. So dining has been very difficult to get because it is reduced capacity. So it is a little bit of a benefit that when you stay at a Disney resort, you can make your dining 60 days in advance for the entire length of your stay. Whereas if you're staying off-site, you have to make, say you check in on Monday, you have to make your reservations for Monday 60 days before Monday. You have to wake up the next day to make it 60 days before Tuesday, wake up the next day to do 60 days before Wednesday. So that having that, being able to do it for the length of your trip is huge. One thing that Disney did announce is that Extra Magic Hours is not coming back. So they are going to be reintroducing something called early theme park entry. We don't know when that's coming, but it's only going to be available for resort guests. So if you're planning for the latter part of 2021 and into 2022, this is going to be a huge benefit for you. I'm actually really excited about this early theme park entry. It's basically Extra Magic Hours, but with Extra Magic Hours, you had a scheduled day. So on Mondays, the Magic Kingdom would open early. On Tuesdays, it would be the Animal Kingdom. With this early theme park entry, you're not going to get a full hour, so that's kind of a little bit of a drawback, but I don't think you're going to need the full hour because you're going to be able to get in a half an hour before anyone off-site. And you get to pick whatever park you want. So every single park is going to open a half an hour early for park guests. So you're not going to have to compete with all of the resort guests going to one park. It's going to be evenly distributed across the 4 parks, which is going to give you that advantage, and that's not going to take you an hour to get 2 or 3 attractions done. You'll be able to get 2 or 3 attractions done in that half an hour, and it's a huge advantage for things like Flight of Passage. I do think the Disney dining plan is going to come back, so that's going to be a great advantage for staying at a Disney resort. I don't know when it's coming back, but you'll be the first people to be able to add it, if you're later in 2021 into 2022. And yes, they did start charging for Magic Bands, but you still get a significant discount off the Magic Bands. So they're $30 if you buy them in the park, and then if you buy them with your package, you get them for $5, $10, or $20. So huge savings there if you want your Magic Band. You don't need them because you can use your phone, but you're already using your phone so much and it's dying and you have to carry the extra batteries, and I still like just the Magic Band on my wrist. I don't have to take my phone out, fumble around, touch my phone with my germy hands. So I definitely think that all of those are advantages. So I do have a video of my favorite off-site resorts. If you are considering an off-site resort, definitely check that out. I mentioned my guide to choosing the best resort for your family. You can get the link to that below. While you're there, please don't forget to hit subscribe so that you can help other families find this useful Disney planning information. Thank you so much for joining me, and remember, take a break from the busy.
Need help planning your next family vacation? Visit us at showcasetheworld.com to request a quote or schedule a free vacation consultation. Want more great travel tips? You'll find those there too.